getting a look on the inside of the PGA Merchandise Show in Orlando.
This is Golf Smarter.
Welcome to the Golf Smarter podcast, Sherry.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here.
It's great to have you here. I'm so interested in what you do. You're with PGA Golf Shows.
I am.
You
yes.
have a couple big events each year.
Absolutely. We have the PGA Merchandise Show every January in Orlando, and then the PGA Fashion and Demo Experience every August in Las Vegas.
And it clearly it takes a year to prepare two shows
Yes.
like that. I mean, I know people who try to put golf tournaments together and it takes them a year. So I can't imagine. I mean, what's the square footage that you do in Orlando?
We're at about 1 million gross square feet of space. We have about 1,000 exhibitors, and we have 40,000 plus attendees from 76 countries. That is like your Super Bowl of golf business.
Yeah, absolutely. And around the same time. I've always found it fascinating. I've yet to go to Orlando. I'm based in California. I have been to Vegas once. I always found it so interesting when I was there of these people who, like, they're insurance salesmen, but they've created a tee. They're like, I've got the tee. This is, and they're willing to give up their entire because they've got a golf tee. And it's like these little exhibitors that come out there, and it's like, oh.
When you have 1,000 exhibitors on the show floor, you have your market leaders, your veterans, you have your up and coming, your mom and pops. But then we also have this great place on the show floor. It's called the Inventors Spotlight Pavilion. Mm-hmm. And in the Inventors Spotlight Pavilion, it is basically tabletops of inventions that have not yet come to market, that are patent pending. It is fun to walk through there. We partner with the United Inventors Association to put together this pavilion of exhibitors. And I'm excited to say that we've been doing that for approximately probably 6-7 years. And some of those inventions are now full-fledged exhibits on our show floor who have a place in the market. It's exciting to see that grow.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask, what's the percentage that don't make it back for year two?
There's probably a large percentage.
Yeah. But can you give me an example of something exciting like that somebody remember?
There was a visor one year.
Oh, come on. A visor?
No, seriously, a visor that then got sold into Dick's. Took off because it had removable designs that you could change it up for all of your outfits. And Dick's loved it. And They're extremely popular. I wish I knew the name right off the top of my head.
That's so
I'm
unique.
It is. It
not
really
necessarily
is.
a golf product.
You don't know what's going to catch.
Yeah, well, it's
the
like
eye, the interest.
When people say, "Can you make a viral video for me?" It's like, don't ever ask that question, because if anybody tells you that they can, turn and run in the other direction, because it's impossible to tell you, yes, this is going to go viral.
That's just one example, but there are companies like Callaway who started off at the PGA show with a 10 by 10, and now they own significant real estate on that show floor and are a market leader. And you just never know what's going to happen at a PGA show and where you can grow from there.
Other than the obvious answer of the last day, what's your favorite part of the show?
I think a lot of people would now say that demo day is a favorite part of the show. Have you been to demo day?
No.
Demo day is the day before the show floor opens, and we have that out at the Orange County National Range, and it is a circular range where we fit 100 different companies, and PGA professionals get to come out and try the very newest equipment in outdoor golf conditions and beautiful weather and hopefully. Around the hopefully, generally, and with their colleagues and with their peers and with their friends, and it's a great experience to test new equipment the day before the show floor, and then it leads to sales on the show floor for our vendors.
I find it interesting that the show is generally after the buying holiday. Is that an issue for some of the manufacturers or
No,
exhibitors?
The tradition of the PGA show goes back 54 years. We
have always been after the buying season. The holiday buying season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's not for consumers. It's for retailers who are stocking and planning for their stores and for their shops.
Oh, so it's a retailer. It's not necessarily for the
There are no
manufacturers.
consumers at any PGA show.
But the manufacturers are there to showcase their products to
To buyers, to
the
PGA
buyer.
professionals and retail operators.
And what kind of attendance are you getting these days?
At the PGA show in Orlando, we have about 43,000 attendees from 76 countries.
Wow.
It is truly a global forum. It is the major of golf business.
Yeah. I try each year to find somebody who goes to the show and say, all right, you be my reporter. Let's do a
Right.
show on what you saw that you thought was interesting. And even the show that I went to in Las Vegas, I saw some things like, okay, that's really cool. I think that's a great idea.
Right.
And then I see it in Marshall's, 8 months later, or the guy who came up with this interesting idea of testing the wind, but the USGA says, nope, that's illegal. And so
Right.
you can't have that. So there must be so many people that want to come to the show.
Absolutely.
Is there a selection process? Do you say, nope, sorry, you can't be here. I know you can afford it, but we don't.
You definitely have to have a golf-related product to be on the show floor, for sure.
Oh, and a visor? Check. Okay.
Absolutely. So yeah, there is a qualification process to getting on the show floor, but there are so many who want to be on the show floor.
Yeah.
Golf is definitely an appealing demographic and market, and people are invested. They're passionate about the game, and those inventors that come into the inventor spotlight, I love their backstories.
Oh, I bet.
Couldn't be.
You got one off the top of your head? You can share? Put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're putting me on the spot. I don't know. It's been so many years of different inventions coming in, and really the passion that's behind them, I think, is really what stands out to me. And you were talking about media who come to the show and cover the show because it's an exclusive window really for consumers because they can't see it themselves. And so we have about 1,000 media that come from 25 countries.
Wow.
To really cover our vendors and the trends in golf and the equipment that's coming into golf. It's exciting. It's an exciting week. I can't wait to have you there.
Oh, I thank you. I appreciate the invitation. I look forward to getting the opportunity because I really do want to see it. I really do.
I think if you're in the golf industry, you have to be at the PGA show.
So the elephant in the room is that the golf industry has been having some tough times. It's interesting because a decade ago we talked about it a little more. Around a decade ago we were talking about the Tiger effect and how
Yes.
his success brought everybody in, and new courses are being built, and everybody's trying to play golf. And actually, if you kind of look at it, it's still the Tiger effect. Once he hit his peak and he started going down and fell out of favor and stuff, people started stop playing golf. How has that impacted the attendance and the amount of exhibitors that you have?
I think in any industry, when you have an event like ours, which is really focused on bringing businesses together, bringing a manufacturer together with a buyer, you always have to focus on evolving that show to increase the value to the buyer and to the vendor. And that's our sole focus. How can we make this show experience better for you? Whether the industry is up or down, our sole focus is on your business. How can we make your business successful? And if you focus on that, then you really can't go wrong. You get the feedback from whether it be surveys or personal contact, whatever it is, you need to talk to your customers. And our customers are our attendees and our vendors. And that dialogue couldn't be more important than shaping the show. There's nothing that shapes the show other than our guests.
So why do you come to the ING conference?
Relationships. It's all about relationships in golf. I love who I get to work with. I love golf media. Our manufacturers are so important. And I've never worked in another industry other than golf. I've been here for 25 years. And so I always like to say...
There's a lot of people who are very envious of you for saying that.
I always like to think that golf is so exceptional in that the camaraderie and the relationships that are here just seems so special to me. But I'm certain that there are other industries that experience the same. But I'd never want to work in any other industry because of what we have here. Yeah. You'll find PGA professionals are just top of class, and the best practices that they share with one another. They truly want the other person to be successful as well. And in some senses, your competitors.
Even your playing partner.
Yeah, even your playing partner, for sure, in golf. In some senses, you're talking about PGA professionals who are from the same region and could be competitors, but they're sharing best practices, and it's all about growing the game. And I'm always impressed with the people that I come across in golf, professionals that I come across in golf.
Fabulous. So I've had contact through the podcast. People have reached out to me going, I'm developing a product.
Right.
So for those people who are thinking about or are in the process of developing a golf product, what is the process for them to get to be part of the PGA
I really
golf
encourage
show?
them to go to our 2 websites first. So for Orlando, it's pgashow.com, and that is where we have the Inventor Spotlight Pavilion. And then in Las Vegas, it's pgalasvegas.com. Okay. And there's a tab there for potential exhibitors, and it really walks them through the process of what's the value of exhibiting, what you should anticipate, what you should prepare, what you should have together to really bring your product to this marketplace. So it gives you a bit of an education before you even talk to someone so that you know how to frame that conversation. And then I suggest you get on the phone with one of our exhibitor representatives because they've walked this road with many other exhibitors before and could give you some really good tips and advice.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad that we got a chance to talk because outside of having breakfast together, because I've always been really curious about this show and how it works and who's involved. And so I just never got the backstory, but this is really great. Thank you very much.
It's so nice of you to invite me today. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Click on the link below to subscribe to our free weekly interviews on the Golf Smarter podcast at golfsmarter.com.